Take your game to the next level. You want to be a world champion? Take the fighter training stack. Victor Conte's fighter training stack has brought me to the next level. Everything that I take on a daily basis. The fighter training stack is the best thing out right now. Devin Haney, I'm snack strong. Get it now.
This was like, he took it away from us.
Derrick, who's the better puncher when it goes down? Crawford got 10 knockouts in a row, but Spence looks like the heavy-handed, natural.
10 knockouts in a row against who?
Some solid guys along the way. Sean Porter.
To be fair, he did stop
Oh,
Sean
man.
Porter.
Sean Porter's daddy said I was going to stop the fight before the fight. Didn't he say that? So what does that mean?
I think
No. What that meant was he was showing Sean he's still the boss. There was a power struggle going on in the ring. And what did Sean do when his dad did stop the fight? What did he do? He retired and didn't tell him. Asked him when the last time he talked to his dad. The night they was in the corner. He had not spoken to him anymore.
So Derrick is
So there was a power struggle going on. The father wanted to prove him that he still was the boss.
Coach James, you got 3 belts with Earl, you got 3 belts with Jermell, that's 6 belts for you.
Right.
How does that feel and where do you go from there? You look to get 8?
Hey man, we want to get 8 by the end of the year. It's part of the game, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think about that part of it. I just want these guys to keep winning, keep looking better, keep being better because it's kind of difficult to, I just want to keep
But as someone who has been left off a trainer of the year list, I've seen him and ignored for trainer of the year list to have 6 belts. How do you feel? Like, isn't that a statement in the game of boxing?
Somebody said it's messed up that he doesn't get it, but he said that you can't take that to the bank.
Derrick, I just wanted to kind of piggyback off Sean's statement when he said Crawford has 10 knockouts in a row, and then you said again too. So are you kind of saying that Crawford?
I'm just saying he hasn't faced the same competition, same level of competition.
But are you kind of also saying that Crawford's power is a little bit overstated?
I mean, I don't know. I never seen him fight for like 2 or 3 times. I don't watch a lot of boxing. I do not watch boxing, but I'll start watching him when we start training for the fight. Right when they contract, they set a date. I'm gonna start watching. I'm not gonna watch it now.
Just got done with the huge fight 4 weeks from today. Another huge one in California this time. The rematch with Castano for Undisputed. Just your thoughts on heading into the rematch?
This is gonna be round 13. We're starting on round 13, just like the last 4. He's on round 13.
Does it excite you, the idea to know Jermell, you know his next fight is for Undisputed, and Earl, we're hoping his next fight's for Undisputed. Does that excite you to know?
Well, we're gonna get that. But no, I don't think about it, man, because you think about those trinkets, you can't focus on the situation.
Well, you don't have a situation right now.
No, I'm saying you can't focus on the fights. On the fighters and them getting better, because I'm thinking about the prize. And I'm missing steps in between that because I'm thinking about, I'm putting one thing before the other. I live every day step by step. So I have to focus on something every day to perfect it so what we can get what we need from Brian to Sunday.
I gotta ask your thought. Recently, Jamal Charlo was on the Mike Tyson podcast, and Mike said that he would love to see Earl move up to 54 to fight Mel. He's like, yo, if they really friends, let's get some bread together. Obviously you train both fighters, you wouldn't be able to train both of them in that fight, but just your idea on Mike's comments. And do you think that's true? Like,
I didn't see it, but I'm not thinking about it. People talking about it, but I'm not thinking about it. I don't want it. It'll be a big deal, but I don't want it. I think that they'll talk about whatever. And it's like this. Jermell can be the welterweight champ of the world, whatever, undisputed. That doesn't mean, Errol is at a point, telling people out there, I don't think it was about him fighting for a title that brought him here. I think he would be able to sell anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing about it.
Guys, don't leave. Don't leave. Just go right.
First and foremost, Coach, congratulations on your victory. You guys did a hell of a job. Being in camp, getting the chance to see you guys in camp, and I told you how impressed I was, and it felt like Earl had a huge chip on his shoulder, and it just felt so different about him. You told me before the fight he was going to have a spectacular performance, and he did just that. Do you feel that this is the best victory as far as you being his head coach, going overseas, winning the IBF, defeating Sean Porter, getting that WBC title, now defeating Ugas for the WBA? How satisfying is it for you as a coach? And would you say it's your are you impressed most by this victory than any of the other ones?
Funny, man, like with the boxing thing, is like It's not so satisfying. I think that I'm just happy we got what we came out to get. So really, I'm more relieved than anything. I feel accomplished, but at the same time, I don't think about the other aspect of it. I just think that you want them, you got to do great. You want the guy to do better, and he did well. I mean, and I just because it doesn't matter like if I won trainer of the year, my guys look horrible. They look subpar. And I mean, look, think about this. The guy who they gave trainer of the year to, the year I was supposed to get it, the last time, the guy from Ring Magazine told me that Teofimo's win was more significant than mine. My two. Bringing Errol back from the car accident, and Jamel, you know what I mean? They had 4 fights that year. But he said that one win was better than my fights. So what happened? His next fight he lost. Then the guy that beat him lost. So it's like, you know, that's the game, man. You know, you can't. My life is all about being consistent. It ain't about, you know, you get a flash. No, I want to be consistent.
Derrick, is Charlo the guy who can make all the adjustments and not Castano? Like Castano can only fight.
I think Castano's a good fighter, man. He's a great fighter. I think that, you know, but Jamel had to go out there and be the best version of himself. He cannot come out there and relax and do whatever. He got to be out there and do his thing.
Derrick, I gotta ask you, you being involved with 2 upcoming Undisputed fights. We saw Canelo Undisputed last year along with Josh Taylor, and now not just the 2 fights you're involved in, but Devin Haney, he's fighting for Undisputed as well. Do you think that this is what the sport needed to see? You know, we heard Deontay Wilder preach all the time, one face, one name for each division. Do you think that it's helped the sport of boxing?
I think that it'll help it, but I think it'll limit so many other fights because these guys who are number 1 got to wait till this guy fights it because every year you got to fight a mandatory and you got to fight it. You get 1 fight to fight, right? So that's by the time that WBA champ or whatever get his shot, that's 4 years. So it's like it's kind of difficult at the same time because those guys, like say, you can be number 1 in WBC. That doesn't mean you're gonna get the mandatory the fight because he gets to fight a mandatory, then he gets to fight a voluntary challenge.
But we typically see them vacate, right? I mean, Canelo hasn't yet, but, you know, Terrence Crawford, when he undisputed, he moved up. Josh Taylor, he had 1 fight, and now he's moving up.
Yeah. He lost, too.
Who's that?
No,
Josh Taylor?
Lose,
he had a close fight against Jack
Catterall.
Catterall.
I didn't see the fight, but I heard he lost.
Derrick, where do you rank this victory in your career with Spence overall?
I don't know, man. I'm not.
Hasn't synced in yet, right?
My thinking is like blank. It's like blank, you know. I'm just happy to get done with it. I mean, I feel like a sense of relief. So it's like it's very difficult to even think about that. I just feel like accomplished. I did what I set out to do. It's not so much about me, but I was able to do what I told them I could do for them.
Derrick, the game plan going into Ugas, did Earl execute it exactly how
well, you know what? He came out and he did well. I mean, we knew we was going to try to time him, and we knew that. But it was like, Ugas really, I think he really realized how difficult it was to time him. But I think that at the same time, he threw a double jab and shot. I said throw 3, 4 jabs, jab, and shovel, chop, shovel steps. And Ugas kept stepping back. So you got to step. And that's what the double jab, he was expecting that. Then after that, I said double jab, and then shuffle and shoot the hook because he expected the left hand. So when he started shooting the hook, he kind of started missing him, so I said, I shoot it to the shoulder. Because when he dipped, you're going to catch him, so yeah.
Hey, Derrick, do you think the defense of Errol Spence was big in this fight coming up today? Because normally he gets a bad rap for not moving his head, but he did a lot of head movement and a lot of switching in this fight. What part of the game plan when you guys worked on, when you saw Ugas fight, that you saw that would be a big part of it?
Man, Ugas is a phenomenal fighter. I mean, listen, if you let somebody be great, they're going to be great. That's what it is. When like Ugas, if Errol would have laid back and played, he would have been great. You got to take that. And with Ugas, the guy that beat that out of him. This is the guy who escaped 6 times and got caught 6 times. On the 7th time, I mean, he has a hell of a lot of fortitude. How do you break a guy? You got to go out there and break him. To break him, you got to break him. That was the whole thing. There's no way you can beat him. You got to break him.
Were you a little surprised he didn't touch the canvas? He's taking a lot of punishment.
The thing about this, the knockout is a shot. It's over. You may get a little concussed, but to recover from that, he may never fight again. Just too many hard shots. Rib probably broken. Think about it, rib probably broken. We know his face probably broken, his nose, out over the bone. So it's like the knockout is the best thing that could happen to somebody. The whole taking the beating like that, that was round after round after round. And I know how hard he punches, man.
He'll never be the same, probably, right? Ugas, after that fight.
Yeah, I mean, he won't never be the same.
Were you surprised the doctor didn't stop it the first time they took a look
It was
at
like
it?
the referee, he's like, man, I kept trying to stop the fight. I said, yeah, but come on, man. It's like, I mean, I know y'all got the Cohibas and the Kahunas or whatever it is, but come on, man, you gotta stop that fight. Cohibas, that's cigar, yeah, but the Kahunas.
No, I know what you
No, I had to think about it myself. Man. I had to think about it myself.
Did it feel good to help Coach Salas? He's a great coach.
I mean, yeah. I told him we're going to Cuba together. I'm going to Cuba. I want to go to Cuba.
What do you make now that the Cuban government have chose to allow professional boxing for those guys? They don't have to defect. They can participate now.
Tax revenue. Tax revenue. Everything in the world is about tax revenue.
Derrick, take me into your emotions in the 6th round when Earl did get hit. He looked a little rocked.
Well, I couldn't really see. Well, listen, I really couldn't see it. But I saw him go back. Then after the referee explained to me, and he explained to me what happened, it was kind of like, okay, you realize what happened. You know, he got hit while he was on the break, basically. I mean, so, you know, so I was like, man, oh my God, like, how this is going to work? But he recovered, man. And they had to put the mouthpiece in. And he was like, I couldn't put the mouthpiece in right then, so they had to let us, you know, whatever. So when it was low in the action, that's when he put it in.
And in that moment when he comes over to you to clean the mouthpiece, are you cognizant of maybe
Yeah,
I gotta
like,
like
listen,
step
man.
a little slower on the step or
Really,
something? You know what I mean?
I just, you
Give him
know,
a little more time.
a little bit, man. You gotta think about it. You know, it's a game.
Part of the game.
Yeah.
Hey, coming into this fight, you know, there's a big crowd, hometown fight. Earl seemed to be a lot more relaxed than any other fight he's ever been in. What do you contribute that to?
I think they're just happy to be here, man. I think that if you think about this, man, when you come out and see what you see or see what we saw, that's an emotional moment, man. Think about it, you see all these people out here came to see you fight. Hey, man, that's crazy. I mean, it's like they spent their hard-earned money. I mean, COVID. I mean, I'm sure everybody probably got COVID in his mouth. He said, we can't, you know, there's some shit up in there. I mean, everybody told me people in there between, man. That's what it is, man.
Why do you think they come out there?
Huh?
What do you think it is about Earl that draws the people?
Because they think they're gonna see that what they just saw. That's what that's what they want to see. That thing in particular, the way he fights, the way he breaks them down. He's a fighter. He's not trying to be pretty. You know, he's very technically sound. The jab, he stayed with the jab throughout the whole fight. The inside game was amazing. You know, you see fighters, they really don't have a good inside game. They throw a couple shots.
Isn't his style kind of Texas? Like it manifests tech, like just straightforward, no bullshit. Just...
Well, I'm from Texas.
Right.
I'm teaching the style. I don't think it's necessarily that. I think that when they have a strong defensive, or fight from a strong defensive perspective, you can go forward to backers. You don't have to do, you don't have to do what somebody wants you to do, because you have defense, you have whatever. That's it.
Can you kind of explain what makes Terrence Crawford so great?
I mean, he's a good fighter, man. What Terrence Crawford is a phenomenal athlete. Phenomenal athleticism. That's what it is. She's athleticism. But athleticism is always fleeting. Remember that. Athleticism is fleeting. And when you get to a certain point, whatever age it is, I don't know what it is, look at the other fighter that loves him to death. He talks about it. You know that guy? What's his name?
Tim Bradley.
Used to be a champ.
Tim Bradley.
No. Undisputed champ. He talks about Errol like he's horrible. No. The other one.
Tim Bradley.
Heavier.
He used to be undisputed.
There we go.
Roy Jones.
Phenomenal athlete, right? Athleticism left.
But I mean, that's a fair point. But I think usually when people talk about Crawford, the first thing they mention is IQ, as opposed
Hey
to.
man, listen, man. I'm telling you what I see. I mean, listen. Athleticism. He's very quick, like a cat. His movement, very quick.
Have you already seen that decreasing?
No, honestly, I think he's been looking great. He's been looking phenomenal. You're not decreasing, man. This shit is popping.
Derrick.
This shit is
So does that
popping.
mean he's got the speed with that? He's got the edge and speed then?
But speed, it's all about timing. Speed is phenomenal.
Time and beat speed.
And my man right here, man. My man right here.
What's going on?
My man, that's right. Frank Martin's right. That's my man. He getting ready to come up.
Yeah, we working.
Frank Martin, you saw Isaac Cruz tonight. What was your assessment as far as his performance at 135 against Yordenis Ugas?
He did what he was supposed to do.
I'm 50 years old. He's 40 years old.
Hey,
Would you like that fight?
talk about Spence's performance and just what he did.
Hey man, y'all take Frank along. I'm about to get out of here.
Thanks, James. Hey, Frank, tell us what makes Derrick James such a good trainer.
He a teacher. You know, he a teacher. He can anything that he tell you to do, he can break it down and explain it to you. You know, he won't just tell you what to do and just, you know, just tell you. It's a lot of trainers who just tell you what to do and can't explain why to do it or when to do it. You know, he can break it down and make you understand it.
How